What's up everyone, Kriddle here, and today we're going to talk about Baldur's Gate 3. So I'm going to give you my thoughts and kind of a review on the game. I'm only going to have this screen here. I'm not going to actually show you any of the gameplay, and the reason for that is because it can give you spoilers depending on how you play the game. It's a very story-driven game with a lot of choices, and I don't want to show something that could potentially spoil something else. So if you like this format, please let me know in the comments. If you don't like this format, let me know in the comments, but it's mostly going to be just my thoughts and my view of the game. So anyway, what is Baldur's Gate 3? It is obviously the third version of this game, the third one coming out, and it is based in Forgotten Realms setting from Dungeons & Dragons, and they're specifically using the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition rules for most of the content as far as the combat and the story and all that kind of stuff. And then you have all these other characters coming in that are just kind of part of the lore. So you have a ton of lore in this game. You could spend hundreds of hours just going through reading everything. You could go get books from Dungeons & Dragons over the past 50 years or however long it's been going on now, and just read a ton of stuff and really get into it if you want to. The visuals in this game are absolutely stunning. I have seen better in some games, but the way this game works is almost everything is, in game. There's no, well, there are cinematic cutscenes, but most of the stuff are not cinematic cutscenes. It's just, you're talking to a couple characters and then this thing happens, and then it kind of transitions back and forth, and they look very, very good and they run very smooth. I'm very impressed with them. I haven't had too many load screens or anything like that, so that's kind of nice. The sound also very good. There's birds chirping, all that fun stuff, and the sounds of the goblins, the sounds of the spells hitting, the explosions of fireball, things like that. It all sounds absolutely amazing. And then there's the voice acting, which is some of the best voice acting I have heard in a game, period, especially when you think that they have over 1 million lines of dialogue in this game, and the voice acting is very, very phenomenal. I would put it on par with most recent games that I can think of. Would be like God of War or Horizon series, where they have some really good voice actors in there. Maybe the Last of Us games, you got some amazing voice actors in there, but usually it's only a couple of characters that are really good, and then you have these tertiary characters that are okay and good enough. This game, I feel like every single character is just voice acted extremely well, and I'm very, very pleased with it. So now the story is basically, like I said, it takes place in Forgotten Realm in Baldur's Gate, where you're trying to get to, and there is an overarching story that you're coming from this ship that is an Illithid ship. I don't want to go into a whole lot of details because it may spoil it, but at the same time, it's not really necessary. But it's a main story where you are crash landing on this ship, and then from there you find out that you have a tadpole in your head, which basically turns you into one of these Illithid creatures. And the whole point of the game is to kind of progress through trying to get to Baldur's Gate, trying to remove this thing from your brain and all that kind of stuff. So that is the main path. However, how you get there can go a million different ways. I mean, I don't know if it's literally a million, but there's a lot of different ways it can go. This game has tons of endings to it in so many different directions with all the companion characters that you can get. There's tons of them. I don't even know how many there are. I probably have unlocked maybe 6 or 7 already, maybe 8. I don't even know. But some of them you could kill off accidentally, you could kill off on purpose, or you could befriend them and just kind of follow their path. And that's the next thing I wanted to kind of get into, are the side quest and companion quest actually add a lot to the story to this game. With your main story that is going through, with these tadpoles, these other companions that you meet also have tadpoles in their head, and they are also going through the same kind of problems with you, and you kind of work together. Some of them all of them have their own, personalities and what their direction is, how they want to deal with things, and you have to kind of bring all of that together, and you can help them out or you can not help them. It's up to you. So very, very cool with the story. Love all the choices and all that kind of stuff. When it comes to the combat, it is, like I said, Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. It follows the rules fairly closely. This is one thing that I personally wish that they would do more of. They don't follow the rules, close enough in my opinion. For example, one of the things that I really want is to take the dodge action or be able to ready action. And a ready action basically means that if you go before an NPC, you could ready, say, an attack of some sort. You could ready your, melee weapon attack, or you could ready like a firebolt or something along those lines. And if a condition is met, then it triggers that reaction. That could have been put into the game, but they chose not to put that in there for reasons I'm not sure. But that's something that I feel like playing a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. I've been playing it for 30 plus years now, and it's something that really, in my opinion, makes the combat a little bit more fun to ready the action, and then on another player's turn, an enemy could move in and things could happen, and it kind of makes everything work and flow a little bit better in combat. However, what they did do with combat is to make it flow a little bit better, since it is a multiplayer game as well. If things have a similar initiative, so if you have like a group of things that are considered together, like your 4 party members are one group, they can all go at the same time, even if they have an initiative of 10, 11, 12, 13, for example, as long as no enemies or anybody from a different group has an initiative to break that up. So let's say, 3 of your party members have a 10, 11, and 12, and then you have like 2 goblins that have a 13 and a 14, and then another party member that has a 15. It'll be those 3 members to go together, the 2 goblins go together, and then the 1 other party member goes together, and they can kind of work that way. And it makes it for a fun and interesting type of combat, and definitely speeds things up a little bit when you're playing multiplayer. Now, so speaking of the multiplayer, you can play this game with up to 3 friends, so 4 people total. I do recommend, if you do that, however, to play with either play by yourself and have companions come in, play with 3 friends and have them play companions, or have 3 people make original unique characters and have the 4th person play a companion. The reason I say that is you want to play a companion character. You want to be able to put them into your party. It is a huge part of the game. Their dialogue is amazing. It's a lot of fun. The way that they interact with each other, the way they interact with the world around you, just really makes the game better. So I highly recommend having at least one slot that is dedicated to a companion character, which can be played by you, or you can have a friend or something play it. To do that, you just need to start your game and have your friend join the game after you've started. If you have them join the game during the character creation part of it, then everyone will be making their own characters. So just remember, 3 people can do that together, leaving that 4th one for the companion character. Now, as far as bugs and things like that, there's a lot of bugs that are coming up. So is this, the perfect game? No, it's not perfect. There are some bugs in it, but Larian has been very good about fixing those. They actually just had a patch recently that fixed over 200 bugs. And with the scope of the game, with the amount of options and directions you can go with different things, it's bound to have some bugs in it. So I'm kind of looking past some of those things. A few of the bugs, though, that do bother me are some of the camera angles can get kind of annoying. You'll get things where you need to look up, a floor or 2 higher than you because there's an enemy up there, and you could potentially, if you were down below, look up and shoot a fireball at them. But it's really hard to target them and aim at them to be able to do that. You can click on them at the top bar where the initiative bar is at the top. That is possible, but again, you want to be able to see where you're doing that. And if you can't see the area, especially for area effect spells like Fireball, you don't necessarily want to target an enemy. You want to target an area to hit as many enemies as possible. So it can be a little bit frustrating, but other than that, I am finding the game to be absolutely fantastic. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it, and I hope you found this video to be helpful. And if you did, please like, subscribe, follow, and check me out over on Twitch, where we play this and many other games daily. And that's pretty much it. Take care, have a good one, and see you next time. Bye!